I would say Richie Valens was like the person that got me to play guitar. And I know that probably doesn't really relate to everything that I ended up getting into as I got older musically so much.
Stiff Little Fingers is a good band. They were one of the first, probably the second punk rock band I ever heard.
Refused. They were a band from Sweden. One of my favorite records of all time, The Shape of Punk to Come. No more a band, unfortunately.
Misfits. I love the Misfits. Always good to get me out of a bad mood.
And like the first band I ever heard was Circle Jerks, and it sounded like fucking absolute noise to me. And then years later, somehow, not years, but like a year, but at that time it seems like years, somebody played me Minor Threat, and that was what opened my ears to punk rock music, Minor Threat.
No Effects. Really like No Effects. Taught me how to not give a fuck.
Slint, and not a lot of people that know about Slint know about Slint. And then Spiderland is the record to get.
Screeching Weasel taught me how to master the hooky guitar riff.
I suppose Dag Nasty was a huge influence. Brian Baker or whatever, the way he would play guitar, like he would hold sort of one sort of harmony note, and then he would play different root notes over it, and it was something that I don't think I'd ever really heard. You know, I mean, especially with one guitar player, so it would be this kind of, I don't know. As far as like writing songs or like a new way to sort of play, Dag Nasty was a huge influence.
The Melvins record is Bullhead. Somebody made me a tape of the Melvins on one side and Slint, who I already referenced, on the other side. Awesome record. I played it over and over and over again. I love that record.
Quicksand. Quicksand was a band that, for me, kind of was the epitome of like post-hardcore bands. It just kind of brought a sense of melody to hardcore.
Fugazi.
Fugazi. The first time I ever heard Fugazi, I was in this little red Nissan pickup truck, and I was driving my little truck, and on the back of my truck I had all these stickers of all the punk rock bands I listened to. And it was like these No Effects, Descendants, Propaganda, Screeching Weasel, all these like bands I grew up listening to. And then someone goes, "Hey, have you heard Ian McKay, however you say it, his new band, Minor Threat?" I was like, "No." I really wasn't the biggest Minor Threat fan because I wasn't really into that much hardcore, but for some reason that was the first band I accepted that wasn't fast and punk rock, but they were totally punk rock, but they were musicians, you know, and it changed everything. And from that point forward, if I ever wanted to be artistic, I would have to go and reference a Fugazi album. Back, and I had no idea how incredibly influential they really were. I highly recommend you guys go out and buy a Fugazi record. Just go do it because it'll make you a better person.